National Bowling Stadium right here in Reno, Nevada, the biggest little city in the world. And our opening match, Jason Couch taking on Ricky Ward. Jason will lead off the match. We're using lanes 25 and 6 here at the National Bowling Stadium. Jason Couch from Clermont, Florida, has won 4 titles already. As Marshall said, he's won a Touring Players Championship. Throws it right through the nose and leaves the 3-6-9-10. And he's saying that that rack that came down on lane 26 interfered with his concentration.
It most certainly did, Mike. The rack on lane 26 came down as Jason was making his shot. Now, I don't know if they're going to give him that over or not. Looks like he's got a full rack of pins, and there's a decision that's have to be made very, very early in the tournament.
So we're saying that our tournament director, Kurt Von Kruger, has decided that he can get the shot over?
That was interference. Now, one thing I noticed with Jason's first shot is that he didn't throw the ball with his good firm speed. When Jason gets a little nervous, he tends to get a little bit slow, and that ball went high. Let's see what he can do here.
A restart.
Well, is that a good break, Mike?
Is that a mulligan right there, Marshall?
It's the first mulligan I've seen in the Tournament of Champions. That's a magnificent break for him, and but he deserved it. I mean, he was certainly obstructed as far as being able to make his first shot.
Well, you remember a couple of years ago, Bob Learn got a shot over in Erie and turned that into a record-breaking performance. As Ricky Ward, checking the approach, leaves the 3-pin on a light hit.
Now we're bowling on synthetic lanes. Both the approaches and the lane surface is a synthetic surface, and it can be more difficult as far as the sliding is concerned.
Why is that, Marsh?
Well, for some reason with synthetics, the approaches tend to either be very slippery or very sticky. Now in today's bowling shoes, we can make changes and combat those problems. No problem sliding for that 3-pin conversion.
Ricky, a great match against Dave Ferraro in the position round last night. Needed the 2 strikes in the 10th frame to make it. Came through like a seasoned veteran, not a 27-year-old.
Just a very, very good finish, and I was surprised that he came up there, you know, with his little experience and made those great shots.
Moves over to lane 25, throws it right in there.
And that's what he did last night against Dave Ferraro in that 10th frame. And if it weren't for his great shot making, we would have had that right-hander bowling today for the Tournament of Champions victory. Jason's 11th career championship appearance, and he has proven that when he gets the opportunity, he can win. However, he's won from the #1 seed every time, never from any other seeded position.
4 times. There's a quick double. We mentioned that he's won 4 times from there. I asked him if the mindset from the 5th position is any different.
I don't think so, Mike. I think you just need to approach it 1 frame at a time and stay aggressive. You know me, it's going to be 10 shots as best I can throw them.
I told him after that he's hoping that it's 40 shots.
Yes, he is.
Quick 10-pin lead. Moves over to lane 25, trying to increase it to 20 pins. And the old 6-pin, just a hair tight.
Both our competitors are mic'd for this game, so we'll be hearing a little bit insight from them as to how they feel about their games.
As I mentioned, Jason is from Clermont, Florida. He's left-handed, as we can see, 5'10", 165 pounds. Solid all the way through, 165 solid pounds.
Yeah, he's built very strong, and he throws the ball with a lot of speed. You'll notice in his next shot, he really gets a very, very high backswing. That's where he generates his power. Now, Ricky Ward's got a more compact kind of a game. That's a much simpler game. I feel really there's less to go wrong in Ricky's game than there is in Jason's game.
So does that favor either player here
well,
today?
I would think over the long run it would favor Ricky, but Jason has a little more experience.
Trying for a double to even the match. Ooh, the 397. 379. Got to get the numbers
379.
right.
We have to turn ourselves around and think left-handed today, Mike. That's a shot right there where he's just going to try and get the 9 pins. Just get the count. It's virtually impossible to make.
Now, he was light in the first frame there. Light again. Didn't make the adjustment.
Well, he certainly didn't.
And 9 out. Ricky Ward open here in the 3rd frame. Falls further behind in this match. The 921 pins behind at this point in time. Now he finished higher in the standings, so he had the opportunity to choose which lane to finish on. He's chosen to finish on 25. I can see why.
Yeah, that the right-hand lane looks like the lane that the players are going to have the most trouble with.
Again, just a hair tight, leaves the 6 pin, same as Couch did in the 3rd frame.
That's a good shot. You saw Ricky sort of grabbing his thumb. He went into the locker room facility just prior to our telecast and got some kind of a material to help him get out of his thumb quicker. He was sticking in the ball.
Ricky Ward spares in the 4th frame. He leads in this match by 21. Can Couch come back? Well, we'll find out right after you see these important messages.
I take the same route to the local pro shop. I wear the same boxers on every show. I watch the same TV program every week. I listen to the same CD every night. I eat the same thing on Wednesdays. I am the same man I used to be. I have a different ball for every lane, but they're all from the same company.
The Brunswick World Tournament of Champions is brought to you by Brunswick. Bowling is sold on Brunswick worldwide. We're back. Jason Couch up in the 4th frame on lane 26. And as we went to break, I asked, could Couch come back? And of course, Couch is leading by 21. So it was the wrong question. Can Ward come back?
Now that lane's giving
soft.
Giving Couch a little trouble too. He needs to just soften up. He said throw it softer.
Is that what he said, or did he say he was soft?
Or maybe he said he was soft, but that lane has got a hang spot on it, and they're going to have to be careful about that.
What is a hang spot, Marsh?
That's just maybe a harder board that doesn't allow the ball to get as much friction, so it doesn't hook back as hard as they think it should, as much as they want it to.
So that happens even on synthetic surfaces too?
It certainly does. You know, even though it's a plastic surface, every board has its own characteristics.
Asking for a re-rack on lane 25 from our tournament director, Kurt Von Kruger. We see the difference. 20 pins through 4 frames. Still early in the match. Lots of room for Ward to make a comeback.
Yeah, and Jason Couch was in 16th place. And then at the start of the 5th round, he shot 847 his first 3 games and moved from 16th to 3rd in the 5th round. So he made a huge
846.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it was
Good shot.
just a little bit of
a little
striking.
entertaining, right?
Yeah. Now back up on his good lane.
High backswing, rips it out there.
Yeah!
Ultimate power there.
That was a great shot. I don't think that re-rack would have made any difference. Those pins were going to be falling down on that shot.
Oh, I remember a line years ago by Pete Couture, and he said if he threw the ball like that, the only reason he'd look at the rack is see if there were 10 pins down there. Ricky Ward, lane 26. Needs We spoke of the power of Jason Couch's shot.
Look at that high backswing, Mike, and really rips through it hard. Gets a lot of roll, brings it back hard. Beautiful.
Boy, it finished right over the 9 pin. At the 7 pin, Ricky has it. Still struggling on lane 26. In fact, between the 2 players, only 1 strike on that lane so far. The difference, 21 pins through half a game.
And every shot's been light. Now I feel it's very important for Ricky to get a strike here to give himself a chance to get back into this match. You know, a 10-frame game goes by very, very quick.
Especially when you're behind. Gets that light shaker in the 6th frame. Sets up an opportunity if he can figure out lane 26. Now we'll